And if you have to stay okay.
Yeah.
I
Right.
I
Okay.
I pause it when I open the meeting because there's that period when
Yeah.
they're quiet, and if I'm sat here picking my nose, a lot of scratching me
Yeah.
wart or
Weird.
whatever, it
Don't
looks a
look
bit.
good, does it? No.
My street cred goes out the window, such as it is.
Oh, never mind, never mind. I might
Oh,
leave a bit earlier today because I've got stuff over. I've got to go and unpack some of my stuff over where I'm going. So I'm gradually moving bits over. So we've moved most of the kitchen stuff over. Just left bare essentials.
morning.
Morning.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
good.
So you're not moving too far then?
No, Hamworthy.
Oh, so you can sort of drive over with a few bits every now and then.
Yeah, yeah.
Good move, yeah.
Yeah, and then it's just the big stuff at the last bit then.
Well, you get the people round to do that for you.
Yeah, I will do. Yeah, yeah.
It's not a flat you're moving to, is it?
No, it's our old house that my daughter bought. So they're gradually doing it up. I mean, their half is still in a mess, but it's a job to sell because when we bought it, it was just a 3-bedroom bungalow.
Uh-huh.
And we got a back lane with an integral garage underneath and another room, which we had a big oil tank in. So we turned those into bedrooms. So now downstairs, we've built a bit on. So we've got 2 bedrooms downstairs, a bathroom, and this other little room, they've made a little kitchenette for me. So I'm having a bedroom downstairs. And then upstairs, we knocked through and we put a conservatory on top of the room we built downstairs. But now Nathan's knocked it all into one and made like an orangery.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we're having that side and the stairs go down. And then Peter's just got a little bedroom upstairs because he can't hardly walk now, bless him. He's getting really stiff. And they're doing a wet room in their bathroom. So the tiler's in today doing that. And then their half, they've got like the lounge, they've all knocked into the kitchen. So that's all open plan. So it's like 2 halves really. And he's put a room up in the loft, in the roof. So we've got 3 levels now.
Blimey. It's like Ponderosa, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, so we've gradually built on what we had. So our garden, we've got a garden downstairs, decking on street level and the front garden. So from upstairs, you can see right over Holes Bay and up to Corfmullen. Well, I can see up to Corfmullen as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So will you have a bit of garden that you can go out into?
Yes, they're letting me have the back garden. Yeah, I've got a patio area.
That'd be nice, yeah.
Yeah, and a garden I can, well, they've just grassed it for now and tidied it all up. So it all needs replanting and doing things.
Have they got children or?
Yeah, I just got Molly. She'll be 8 in December.
8? Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. And they've got a little cat, so that would be nice. So I'm thinking I might get a little dog. I don't know. I fancy one. I just fancy. Excuse me.
Wow, that's great. That's good news, that, isn't it? Because she's been struggling there for quite a while.
Yeah, she has. She needs help, doesn't she?
And all that heat when we had that extra heat and that.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Yeah. Awesome stuff. Oh,
well, the sun's shining today, so
this morning it's all right, isn't it?
Yeah. Supposed to be better now for the next couple of weeks, I think. So.
Well, I've taken my shirt off to reveal my arms because I thought it's funny, isn't it? If you don't wear a shirt or long sleeves or trousers for that matter for a long time, when you put them on, they feel horrible. Yeah. They sort of, get that off, itchy and horrible. Yeah. So, well, I had a shirt on and my waistcoat yesterday going to the dentist. I said to Mel, I said, oh, I don't care. I'm going to go like a jippo. She says, you look all right. I said, oh, thanks.
Oh,
But she would say that.
sorry about that.
It's all right. We're having a
Having a little chat, yeah. Oh, it's just organising everything because Lynn, my eldest one, she's going to come in this afternoon and sit with Peter. I can leave him for a couple of hours, but if I'm going to be a bit longer, you know, if he needs trouble, you know, leaving him on his own.
I got on all right at the dentist yesterday.
Oh, God,
it's only the second one I've had with this woman, this lady dentist. They're all, don't matter where you go now, the women have taken over. The reception's all female, the dentist is female. But last time I thought they were man haters. I thought there's something going on here. They were treating me like, I don't know, offhand, yucky. And I came away feeling I'm going to have them lot.
All right.
I'll sort them out.
Was
But yesterday, they got the old cleaning. They wanted to give it.
Oh, right, yeah.
She went in a bit strong.
Oh, I hate that done, don't you? I like nice gentle ones. Oh.
Yeah, I know.
No, she went in with a hammer and sickle, I think.
I've got to try and find one that comes to the home because in lockdown, Peter lost a great big filling. So I went to the chemist and you can get this stuff you can poke in. Right, and I haven't done anything about it because I never get him in the dentist and in a chair. It would be impossible. So I think there is one, but because my dentist said, oh, you have to look online. And they come from Somerset, but they do come up this way. I don't think there's many around.
No, I've not heard of that actually. So, but you know, it must happen because there's a lot of people that can't get to a dentist. Other places,
So I must get that sorted.
Yeah.
What about Paul Hospital? Can you just, because they've got the dental.
Yeah, well, Rachel did phone. She's terrible, my daughter. She gets her bin, but she did ring 111 and they said ring again and we'll sort it out. But I don't know. Yeah. Well, I'll do it when I get over there.
Yeah.
Too much going on at the moment.
Oh, God, yeah. We'll get ourselves settled.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one of those weeks as well.
Oh.
You get it happens, doesn't it? You think, I couldn't be doing without this.
Everything goes wrong, doesn't it?
You've
got this to do, that to do.
Part of it was my own making. I decided to sell, somebody wanted to buy me guitar. So that meant he had to come over here, outside, check it out. That sort of went through. And then I decided I wanted to buy another one. That's what it was all about. Sell one to buy something better, don't you? And all that.
Yeah.
And then I ordered it because I'd sent an email saying, well, this is very nice. Is there one slightly better, you know, blah, blah, blah. And he didn't come back. And I thought, oh, what the heck? 24 hours later, I thought I'll just order it and did that. And sod's law, and as soon as you do that, the email came through saying, yeah, Dave, this is, if you can try this one or this one, either one of those is handmade and it's slightly better.
Oh, no.
So I just start all over again. So I've been sending emails saying, can I update, change the order? No one's come back, and that's been about a week.
Oh, gosh.
So either I've paid for it. So.
Yeah. Morning, Joyce.
Hi, Joyce.
Good morning.
You all right?
I've had a few technical hitches, so I'm on my phone, which I don't like using for this. But I might try turning it around. I don't know if that'll make any difference. Excuse me, will I just
well, you're synchronized. Your voice is working the same as the...
Oh, that's better. Yeah, that's better.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
okay.
It's a finer view, ma'am.
How's everybody?
Yeah, fine, thank you.
That's good. Yes, not too bad, thanks.
Good.
Hoping for some sunshine today.
Well, it's sunny out there now, isn't it? So.
Yes, yeah, hope it stays.
Yeah.
The summer's sort of been and gone, isn't it?
It has,
oh gosh,
yeah,
another
it
month
is.
and it'll be getting all autumny.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. The evenings will start coming in now as well.
No, don't feel like we've had any nice evenings.
No.
But
Well,
we
might
might
have
have week when it was really hot.
Oh yeah, I don't want that again.
Well, no, but
Oh,
that was the only time.
Not quite so hot.
No.
We might have a nice October. Sometimes we get really nice weather.
Yeah, that's right. I've been down the beach in October before now.
Gosh, I haven't been down the beach at all this year. So I should be down Hamworthy Beach walking along there. So that'd be nice.
Well, it's just outside the front door, isn't it?
Yeah, it's only about 15 minutes down the road from me. So yeah.
Well, I've got loads of beaches around me, but Muddyford and all that, Avon Beach, and trouble is, this time of year, it's not very, it's horrible. You have to get there. If you're all right, if you're early in the morning, you can enjoy it then. We used to do that a lot. Take Elvis and Spike out for a run down the beach and through the woods.
Oh, lovely.
But I used to go 6 o'clock in the morning or 7, between 6 and 8. It's 6:30, 7. That's great then.
I bet there's quite a few people down there. And my daughter's like, because she gets up early, and she does a lot of walking, and sometimes she gets up and she walks down the beach from Sandbanks to Boscombe and back, up and down the zigzags, because she's doing another long walk in a few weeks' time, the 26 miler from, I think it's from Weymouth to Corfe Castle, all on the Purbeck. So she does that for charity. But it was cancelled last year. But the year before that, she did 2 in 1 year. She did all round the Isle of Wight. That's a 24-hour walk. I think she had a month off, and then she did another one. I think from here to Bridport. Is it Bridport? That was another 24-hour walk. Yeah, so she's done quite a few.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I can't keep up with it.
Times.
Yeah, I can't keep up with my girls. They walk so fast. I end up running. I start puffing and going. I can't go with them anymore. Oh dear.
Christine's trying to get in, so.
Oh, I was just going to say that.
Yeah, I've just sent her the link. That's why I was patiently taking it emailed, because I know Chrissy. She'll just message me on Facebook if she's got a problem, and true enough, I was just sat here thinking, what's happened to our Chris? And it just said, please can you send me the link?
Oh dear.
And trouble is, I can't do it once the meeting starts. It won't let me copy the link, so I've done it, but I can do it from inside the meetings. It's got like an invite button. So fingers crossed she'll get that email. I did send her the email yesterday, which is a worry because it means that her email isn't working. What
goes wrong with all these trying to connect? It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, the sun has these magnetic storms and it affects all. Well, it would if it did. It did if it would. Summit, whatever. Here she is. It worked. Technology's great when it works, isn't it?
Yeah.
She'll be here in 5, 4, 3.
Oh, take off.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, she's not quite here yet.
She's floating in the ether somewhere.
Yeah.
You'd think we were up in space, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Well, the signal does bounce off a few satellites.
Yeah.
All at the speed of light. Shows how quick it is. You put your hand up and it's gone Norway, United States, Australia, and back to London and through the
No, can't see you.
We can hear you. but we can't see you.
Oh,
Here
there
she
you go.
is.
Sarah. Morning.
Blooming
morning.
globe trotter.
Yeah, did you have a nice?
I didn't get the link for the meeting today. Did you just not send it, Dave? Or
You didn't? Yeah, there was an email with it on.
no, didn't seem to get it. Oh well, never mind. I'm here now.
Well,
Oh.
that's why we've got this plan B invoked, isn't it? I'll just send to the girls, to the others, you know. I just sit here patiently because I know Chrissy can't get in. She'll just FaceTime me, Facebook me quick.
That's what I did.
We got plan B backup, which is
Oh,
great.
brilliant. Yeah, very good.
Did you have a nice break?
Yeah, it was lovely. Thank you. Really, really nice. I'm going to a wedding today, so
Oh,
Oh.
go off
Ooh.
probably at 12, if not before. Yeah,
Well,
Debbie, the girl who runs the charity.
Oh
It's her
yeah.
daughter will get married. Supposed to have got married last year. I've done all the silk flowers and everything for her last year. So they've been sitting in boxes waiting.
Right.
oh.
That's nice.
Well,
And off out in the caravan again on Thursday with Anna Gordon.
All right.
Wow.
Wow.
they would have come
Yes.
today, but I think Anne said she had to book a hairdresser.
Yeah, Anne's got a hairdresser today. I thought Gordon might have been here, but he's obviously busy
Taken.
doing other things.
Yeah, they'll turn.
Where are you going on Thursday?
Where?
Yeah.
Oh, not far. Winterbourne, Monkton.
Oh gosh, I've never been there. Don't
Oh,
know.
that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice, quiet little site, a little farm site
Yeah.
between sort of Dorset and Weymouth.
Excuse me.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
really nice there. Oh, I've just had a message from Debbie to say, anybody got a +1 at short notice? Someone's dropped out.
Oh.
Anybody want to come to a wedding at 12:30?
Oh.
Oh gosh.
All you got to do is say the beer's free. And you get. Oh,
Hang
wow.
on.
Get
Well,
free.
just carry on with me. I'm just going to have to make a quick phone.
Yeah,
Quick message to my sister.
Yeah, okay, fine.
we got let's switch over
Can
to the
you
other.
mute me for a minute while I make a phone call?
I have.
I don't know how to do that.
I just did. You're muted. I muted you.
We'll all put our hands up.
Sign language today.
Yeah.
She asked me to unmute her, to mute her. Now I have. Now she's looking at me as though to say,
What
Have
have you
you?
done?
"Oh, this is so mad.
Uh,
That's crazy."
Comedy
Probably
club.
Can she still hear us though?
Yeah.
She should do, shouldn't she?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's all right then.
I did. We had some. Oops, where's it gone? Hey,
We got
showing
your started as well.
Kiss and Tell. That was our Carol's doing it
Yes.
a little bit. That was pastel, isn't it, Carol?
Yes, it was. I did it really quickly. I didn't spend much time on it. So.
Doesn't
Like
matter.
that
Seems
one.
good, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is, it's all about sort of juxtaposition, isn't it? What colours go and what don't, and you can experiment with it. Did you put smoke on yours as well? Sorry, steam. That is.
Steam. Very hot coffee.
If it was smoke, it would be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, quite like. I like that one. Subtle. That was the original one that I based
Oh, right,
the
right,
thing on,
right.
but everyone does it different. I think that might be an oil. Nothing nasty here. That was excellent, wasn't it?
Yeah.
As Pauline sent me that one yesterday, and I thought, well, look, someone has to say it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's excellent.
I liked your bubbles.
Oh yeah.
I think I can't remember what was going to. I think I washed mine off in the bath.
Oh, you wash yours off every week, don't you?
I seem to. Well, because I tend to.
Oh dear.
When we're talking, if someone says something, usually towards the end or something, I'll change. I'll just do it. What if you did so? And of course, when I look back, I think, well, I preferred it how it was, so I'll wash it off. But what I have found is because I'm not using watercolor paper, I'm using that board. The watercolor paint doesn't seep into it at all, which means any amendments I want to make, it starts rehydrating the whole lot. So it's not the great whatever watercolor paper find that you'd think, but I'm going to persevere with it. I'm not using it today, but I think because I'll show you in a minute. I bought all those watercolor oils. I think for that it'll be perfect because I can just put a layer of acrylic primer over the top. And does she want to unmute again? Hang on. Did you want to unmute? No, she doesn't.
No, she's still talking.
She's still talking. She's on the phone. She's trying to rustle up another participant to the wedding.
Yeah.
Which is nice. What we'll do a sec. I'll show you that. I'll just grab those. I know Joyce was fascinated with those.
The oil paints.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a go with them, wouldn't it?
If you see Christine waving, let me know, and I'll set her back. I'll switch her back on. But I think she can do it herself. I'm not sure. Oh, I nearly fell then. I'm not. I had a good morning this morning. Earlier on, I've got this water jug spray. I bought it for, I don't know why. It's quite big. I wanted it for the garden as much as anything. And I picked it up earlier by the top, and the top flew off, and the bottle went flying about 4 foot over that way. Of course, emptied half of its contents all over the floor. So I thought, well, that's a good start to the bloody morning, isn't it?
Oh dear.
Yeah, these water aqua, I think they're called aqua watercolors. I put them in one of my blue boxes in the end because the wooden box that it came from really wasn't big enough.
Oh, that's a posh box, isn't it? Oh, that's exciting.
They are available to order. I've got a loft full of these. Look at this lot. There's 21 tubes of paint in here.
Gosh.
Some of the Jackson's ones as well. And I know they're 8-9 quid a tube. These are a little bit cheaper, about $6.50. Depends on the colour, doesn't it? But the Jackson's ones, they've got no stock. So the only problem is they always smell, don't they? A bit like second-hand clothes when you buy them on from a, oh, blimey. Don't know what that smell is. But she's still pressing buttons, that girl.
Oh, she put a thumbs up then. I'm not quite sure what.
Hang on then.
That was for, but because she's dialing again, so.
Oh dear. Oh.
Well,
So if we wanted to try some oils, would we just sort of get a few of the basic colours and then try and mix colours up?
Yes, I would.
Yes, yeah.
But I promised Joyce that I'll do a little when I get my act together and start doing
I'd
a
like to have a
picture.
go at oils. It'd be
Yeah,
good.
I'll do a little video of it.
If you just tell us which basic colours to get, and then we
Yeah,
can.
I will.
We can have a
I
go.
will.
Hello, I'm back.
Oh, she's back.
So what do we clean the brushes with? Is it Turks or something we've got to get? What is it?
No, that's the whole point. That these are aqua oils,
Oh, right.
watercolors. So you can clean your brushes off in water, and you can use water as a thinner on it, or you can use the same stuff that you would use for oils, which is salsadol is ones. There's a few different ones, and terps obviously, but I don't. The reason I'm using these is I don't like the bloody smell of that. I've never liked it. It's all right initially, but after a while, when you start getting high as a kite, I don't think it's very good anyway. Chemicals like that. Ironic, but there's a load in there, and you think there's what 21, even at £6 a tube, because they're all full. It's £6 a tube. That's like 100 odd quid's worth of paints, and I got them for 20.
That's good.
Oh,
Not often I get a bargain on eBay, me mate. I'll tell you. It's usually I'm right at the bottom of the doodah. When you talk, does it change the picture?
No.
When you talk, it doesn't, doesn't it? It stays.
No.
So
Yeah.
It's fixed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
sometimes
better. Sometimes when we talk, we come up, don't we?
yeah.
yeah, that's when I obviously don't spotlight it for everyone or something. Today's little thing is my son Herbie, David Jr. with his wife in Mauritius.
Lovely.
I thought, oh, this ain't going to take 10 minutes, is it?
You say that every week.
Yeah, and then I stood here just now, and earlier on, I was looking at it thinking, how the hell am I going to do that? How do you do that? Oh my God. Usual. What I've done, I've sketched it, but I put a bit of masking fluid on the figures, even though I wouldn't normally possibly do that, but I was thinking, well, if I do a good job and it really does, I can get the figures to look a bit like him, I'll flog it to him. It's got loads of dosh. Yeah. So that was my thinking. The other thing I did do, because I know Carol's going to say, that's the sea at the horizon is turquoise. The first question is, how do you get
we've had that
turquoise?
I think I bought a turquoise paint, but I've packed mine all away now, so I won't be doing this one.
Well, you can catch up.
Yeah,
but,
I can catch up. Yeah.
Turquoise, I did it yesterday. It's cerulean blue, which is that sort of really sky blue, and add a little bit of green to it.
Oh, that's good. Yes,
that's what I did yesterday. Yeah, you can blend it. I don't know what green that is. It's just, yeah, whoosh, off you go. It's like being in B&Q colour matching. Well, whether it'll work on things. The only reason I decided to, sky colour's another one. Hang on a minute. I've got another tube of paint for that. Cerulean blue on itself is quite good, but I wasn't sure if it will give me that. It's the same blue that's out there today. But if I add cerulean blue on its own, it has always been a nice summer sky. The other colour I'll put a little squish of it in there anyway, is cobalt blue, not ultramarine. Whatever happens, it's never going to be that. And I was just wondering, a little, nah, it's too much. Possibly get away with it. Difficult to tell when it dries back. I think if cerulean blue on its own doesn't feel right, I was going to say a little smidgen of cobalt blue in the cerulean will probably work. Now I've put that there. I wish I hadn't. See how bad what I'm always saying about that rose madder and Algerian crimson. It stains the plastic.
Yeah.
Done a good job there, isn't it? I'm going to mix up some cerulean blue. I have got a secret weapon for that. For that type of blue, it's a Holbein colour called Horizon Blue. It's not, but it is. I'll just squish a bit onto that paper so we've got cerulean and a bit of green to give us the turquoise colour, cerulean with a hint of cobalt to give us a richer blue sky. Now I've got on this, I'll just put a little dab of it. This is Horizon Blue, which is even more cerulean than cerulean is, but it's not the right blue, is it?
No,
Just wondering if it's Horizon Blue. It's lighter, isn't it? It's supposed to be like that, but I think if I add, it will. I think cerulean with a little bit of cobalt seems to be the. I don't think it matters a great deal. It's just blue, isn't it? I think the contrast, if we can achieve the contrast between the sky at the top and the sea, so I think that's the key bit, is to make sure that the sea is a turquoisey colour. I think am I okay? No, I think I'll just try painting it straight up. Get your mop, clean water. I haven't got any that clean. I've got two pots here. One's yucky and the other one isn't. What I tend to do these days is have two pots. One with try and keep one clean. And you squish the dirty brush in the dirty pot and then clean in the clean pot, and then you end up with quite a clean brush. Sounds obvious, but be surprised how often when you're busy painting you forget to do that. Anyway, I'm going to make the sky damp, the area, but as I say, I've masked out the figures. I want it to make it really wet, actually. I'm so rusty now on watercolour paper, using that board for the last few weeks. When I found this, it was just sitting there staring at me. So here we go then. Deep breath, big sigh, get that cerulean blue floating in there. Start at the top. I think I made it really wet because I want it to be able to work it for a while. There's a little bit of that horizon blue left on the side. I'll put it in, because if I don't, I know what'll happen. It'll end up in a part of the picture that I don't want, because I'll touch it on the side of the paper. Surprised how dark we're going to need this. And I've got a little hint of as soon as I put, oh, look at that. Hence the reason I made the paper really wet, because I thought that paint looked a bit suspect. You know what I mean? It's coming off in a lump rather than, I'm not going to get the paint. You know what my issue is here? Hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
We're concentrating.
What my issue is here is I forgot what I was going to say. No, in honest, no. The real issue is because the last few weeks I've been painting. This paper's getting a bit dodgy. I've been painting the background or the paper white first. So now I'm going back to doing just straight watercolors. I'm thinking, what is it? It's not very solid. I want it to go solid or more opaque, but I'm never going to get that because it's a watercolor. Duh. I'm going to try and make it a bit darker at the top by adding more blue. But I think the paper has been lying around and it's got some dodgy nodules forming on it, but it'll dry back, he believes. Yeah. Well, this is what Chrissy thinks when she does watercolors. She's thinking, oh, it's not very thick, is it? Where's the color gone?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's okay. I've been messing about ringing.
You're trying to sell wedding tickets.
Trying to find somebody to come to this wedding. Well, it's such a shame because it's all, it's all paid for, all the catering and everything, and it's a seat on my table, but can't find anybody at short notice. So pity.
What time does it start, Chris?
Got to be there for 1:30.
Oh gosh.
That is very, very short notice. The only person that I haven't been able to get a hold of is my sister, and she's not at home and not answering her mobile, so don't know where she is.
A bit of tissue here, so I'm going to mop up. I've drawn a line, pencil line where the horizon is. So I want to keep it fairly dry. So I'm going to put a bit of, and I did go in amongst the trees, look. Masking fluid or not. Sainsbury's are downstairs. We're a Tuesday Sainsbury as well, Joyce. Clouds.
Do they always come on time?
No, I don't know. No, probably. Well, they do within the hour slot. It's an hour slot they give you, isn't it?
It is, yes.
They're usually pretty accurate on that. Clouds. Just lift them out. The paper's nice and wet, remember? And so I'm just using tissue and just gonna lift them out with a dryish brush. And hopefully they will better. Otherwise I'll be annoyed with them. Soften themselves down. You can use a tissue if you want, but I just thought I'd use the brush for accuracy. Knowing me, I'll probably go over the sky later. We'll see what I like when it dries, because the paper's got a few nasties on it, which I'm gently trying to tease out with a brush, which is a useful aid to memoir in itself, because a lot of people would look at it and panic, but that ain't going to solve it. It's could be grease, could be the breakdown of the paper, the size that it's sized. Try and get some bit of cloud over there. Here's a watercolor. Hopefully it will dry back a little bit nicer. No, it will dry back nice, but it's a watercolor. I've got to keep saying that. You haven't painted it white. I didn't know about the little buildings and huts at the back here, so I've deliberately not put them in. I thought I'd try and do away with them. I'm just lifting a bit of the colour off the horizon, the far horizon. I thought it might look nice if it had some sort of cloudy bits there. I'm assuming that it's going to dry back really nice. The only cloud that's annoying me is this one up here, because it's not as soft underneath as I would have liked. But that's not an issue. The more you look at it, the more subtlety there are in the clouds. But we're getting into the realms of this should only take an hour, and, and 4 days later, and I'm still looking at it thinking that ain't right. But I've noticed, but it's just a flat brush that I'm toying with. No, but of course,
Dave,
yes, George.
sorry.
What have I done
Dave,
wrong?
No, I'm just looking at the original picture, and the people haven't got any shadows.
There is a little bit.
Is there?
Yeah, there's a little tiny. It's coming towards you, so the light's at the behind. It's double shadow actually. Megan's got a little shadow going across where her feet is there, and so is David. There's a big blue shadow on that one.
Yeah,
but I do notice. Yeah, I do notice that there are reflections in the water coming forwards. Work that one out.
Yeah, I can't see on the small picture. Okay.
No, they are there.
Yeah. Oh yes, I can see it now.
Yeah.
Just, but it's obviously got the big shadow there, but there's also a very subtle reflection coming forwards.
Yeah.
Which just to now, sometimes if you
big shadow made it look as if they didn't have a shadow.
if you do it, if you do that yourself on a picture, you think, oh, that ain't right. Gordon will be looking. Gordon will have a technical term for a dual shadow.
Yes, I'm sure he will.
I'm relying on him for that. I'll get a message later. There's a dark bit over there. I think the cloud right over here needs a bit of effort because it's lighter. Where it goes, you won't notice it when you're doing it now because put the trees in. I was looking at. Now I've got a plan for those as well. Now that's fairly dry across there now. While I've finished faffing around with clouds. See how much water I put on? It's still, I can still lift a few or take a few bits out even now. And the beauty of that is as the paper's drying, don't know what that is, bit of tissue. As the paper's drying, it takes it out softer than it would if it was when it's really wet. It takes out a lot of colour. Now it's drying. drawing back, it just does it very softly. I've got a painting or a reference image coming up in a few weeks by a watercolor artist that I spotted trying to flog her stuff online, and I think her name was Gillian Healy or Heaton, one or the other. She paints watercolors just like, well, pretty much like this really, but even simpler, just a nice, but her skies, she obviously spends a lot of time working on a watercolor sky. But the principles are the same for Chrissy and acrylics, really. The effort, the way you break it down and look at the sky and that, pretty similar. He's just painting in reverse.
I'm hoping I'm going to have time to do this one, but I'm not guaranteeing it because obviously wedding today and I'm out tomorrow for a short time and then we're away in the caravan again on Thursday for a week.
That's all right. Interminable catch up. Playing, well, it's that time of year as well, which you got to have fun, Chris.
Well, yes.
Have fun.
Missed out so much last year caravanning that we're making the most of it this year.
I'm going to have a go at mixing a bit of colour for the background. I'm just going to use this bit of paper to mix it on, which I said was cerulean blue and green to give it that turquoisey feel. How green I want it. Gordon knows. Or Gordon knows. Well, all I want is I think a bit more green. I'm just using the paper as a palette really. Just to see what it's not too bad, is it?
Yeah, nice.
Bit of extra. Well, if I pick it up on the brush, the problem is because we want, because it's a painting, you sort of need to accentuate it, the details rather than. But once you start, keep going. Remember that? It's my old. But it is subtle, isn't it? It's not. It's a very. I think it goes further behind there than you think. I'm just using a bit of card to stop myself from going crazy down into the. I've got a pencil line there as well. But I don't want, it's got to be subtle, isn't it? It hasn't got to be very, so say, in theory, this shouldn't take long, this picture, because it's not, now I'm using just dirty water on the brush. Well, clean water. I dip the brush in the water without wiggling it, so I know that there's going to be some paint left over. That's about all I can do, really, isn't it? I could make it and then pick up a few, just put a couple of stronger lines on. Might need to let it dry and think about that with the rigger later. But if you don't put some in, make it at least a little bit strong, it's not going to work. It won't. I don't know. The painting won't have the action that you want it to. All I've got on here is brush. I've not done anything with the mixing paint at all, or putting extra paint on the brush. So I think the next thing I'm going to do. Notice I've got us. Let's decide where I want the waterline to go. And I'm going to have to, well, I don't know, I'm going to anyway, I'm going to pick up a little bit of that colour off of the palette, off that bit of paper, and just see if I can encourage it to go along. They're walking in it as well, so it needs to go up to there, but it's so subtle, it's hardly any, it's just that bit of turquoise. You could argue that there's a, I've got a phone call now. Hello? Yeah. Hi, John. Not too bad. I've been sending emails, haven't I? And I guess that. Yeah. Should we just leave it? Yeah, just leave it. Well, if it is it gonna, will it, I don't know what the option, yeah, just leave it. Yeah, it's a good guitar, isn't it? I've got a chord already, so I'm just going to go with it. It's already in the pipeline, and people have, and you're busy, just get on with it. Yeah, that. I guess that. Yeah. Brilliant. Thanks, Emmy. No, you're fine. Thanks for ringing back. Awesome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, that was a phone call that I was talking about earlier. Sorry about that. I'll have to, I just saved myself 900 quid, so can't be bad.
Wow.
Yeah, as I was saying, this it's so subtle, this color. I don't know what to. It was a bit of a, I don't know, I'd say I was a bit of a crafty lad, really, putting that on the bit of paper, because if tendency is, if you do it in your palette, you're going to mix up either too much paint or not enough, and doing it on there, it absorbs it. So I can just subtly add a few bits here and there. Yeah, quite pleased with that. The other thing that the other color I've got in my armory is, oh, we're okay for time for a minute, no mad rush, so I'm not going to speed up, but I'm going to put the other color I've got in my armor that you might not have is remember I've got that flesh color, am I? But flesh is pretty easy to mix up. So I think just a week, it's almost, I'm just putting it on because I feel that it should be on there to make it look like there's some sand. The problem with Mauritius, by the looks of it anyway, is there is no colour to the sand. So using the mop, I'm just gently putting some of the flesh tone on there. But you can mix up flesh. We've gone through that so many times. There is another colour. I'll try it just to see if it makes a difference, but I'm pretty, yeah, see, that's a colour called June, and it's not, it is sand, but it's not the sand, or I don't think it's the sand colour for Mauritius. It's just bloody white. There is no, there is a subtle hint of grey that, now, the thing about that is the flesh tone mixed, let's do it. So a flesh tone with the cerulean blue, watch it because this is wet. I'll get another piece of paper, Dave. It's all right, don't panic. The flesh tone, let's find a smaller brush. Every time I'll get a nice brush and it rolls underneath the board. Yeah, so if we use a bit of cerulean blue, which is today's theme colour really, and add a little bit of flesh tone to it, we get a grey. There it goes. You'll get the grey under grey that's on here, which is what I've been trying to, what I've got on here, but it's so bloody light you can't hardly see it on the camera. Which I think is going to be a decision time as you're painting it, a bit like I'm doing right now. And so that's the colour I just mixed up, which was cerulean blue and a flesh colour. Flesh, remember, red and a bit of yellow, but you water it down. And if you want to make it redder or subtle, you can add a little bit of burnt sienna. But as soon as I bought it from St. Petersburg, no, I didn't buy it from them, but from, I've never been out of Christchurch, but I've mixed it on a bit of that card again. How clever is that? You can just subtly swipe it over. I think, but there is a line. I'm going to try mix up a thicker tone of it. It's just a sort of a bluey grey colour, and add it to where they're walking. Try not to fall off the edge of the room, because there is a shade there. There's a subtle shadow and shade. Which I say is that it's just that burnt sienna on the brain, flesh colour, and a bit of alizarin cerulean blue even. Oh, I'm so excited. I'll just say I just didn't spend 900 quid, which was nice, because the difference between, I ordered one guitar that was that they recommended, and then I asked them, is there another one that you'd recommend that might be better? And they said, yeah, try this one. And when I checked it all out, it went from sort of 800 quid to 1500 or something. And I thought, I could do a lot with that, which probably is, it's one of those sites you have to be so careful. It starts off, you look at the price and you think, oh, that's not too bad. And then they put there's no VAT or tax on it. And all of a sudden, what looked like a good price suddenly becomes, oh, blimey, I think I might have overreached myself here. I'm deliberately putting a little bit stronger flesh colour on here. At the end, Dave, it's got to look a bit like flipping sand, isn't it?
Mm.
It's okay. Watercolor. So I'm deliberately adding a little bit more of the flesh tone in amongst it. But one of the, I think I was doing it last week with the egg, was using cerulean blue and with a fleshy tone. I'll just slightly put some more on there while the paper's wet. It's a lovely colour. There's something about it in a painting. You try it. You'll have to try it yourself. Just cerulean blue and mix it with raw sienna or a fleshy. If you can mix up a nice little fleshy tone, mix it up. If you put too much on, just lift it off with a bit of tissue. This is definitely wet on wet this week, that's for sure. It's all about subtly bringing things up, but I think this will be a precursor to the workout that I've got lined up with that lady I said, Gillian Heaton, because her skies are fantastic. You know what I mean? Not very. I always used to think I was good at skies, but sometimes you have to stick your hand up and say, "This lady's taken either what I do to a total new level, like, you know, by spending much more time on it." Put a few extra bits on there. Just want the beach to come over. It's one of those, isn't it? It's trouble with watercolor. You're not 100% sure what you're going to get until it dries. Find a little bit more. I'm going to add a bit of burnt sienna into the cerulean blue and give me a horrible brown color, which I don't want. So, which means there's too much burnt sienna in. There you'll get a nice grey, a nice grey. And with a rigger, my paper is still really soaking wet. Well, pretty damp. With the rigger, I'm just going to see if I can add some little bits of shadow here and there. If anything, I just want to make sure that the beach has a level.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to dry back quite nice, I think. Lovely jubbly. Well, the other thing we've got is some little, oh, that might be a bit too strong. Sometimes these paints are a bit opaque. So I'm just going to put some footprints in along the sand. I've often said that about when we're doing those beach things, and I put figures on the beach, and I've often said to you, you guys, remind me to just say, how did they get there? And if you don't, that's just a bit of that flesh with the cerulean blue grey that I just mixed up. I'm just sticking a few bits on, a few flecks here and there. Bearing in mind it's watercolour, so it should dry back really nice. And then I'm going to use a hairdryer to dry everything off and concentrate on, use your finger as well. Gosh, I did make it wet. Lovely colours though. They sort of fleshy grey colours that come out. But as I say, a lot of it is down to how you feel and personal reflection. But I know for a fact there's a dark area in here that I'm going to add now while I think about it. Well, I've got a nice colour on, and make that dry. But you don't have to do this. I'm drying it because I want to move to another piece. But normally, no, it's all right. It's a bit of fluff, bit of paper. Normally, I'd leave it and walk away, go and have a cup of tea, have me lunch, do whatever. I think it's better if it dries naturally. The only bit I'm worried about is around here because I'm going to paint this bit here. Oh, well, I'm going to take the masking fluid off as well. I bought some new masking fluid, so I was determined to try it out. I've got 2 bottles of it. Drawing gum. This one. This is PEBO. I've had this probably since 2000, 1999, something like that. And I'm still using it now. There's still some in there. But I thought, oh well. So I bought a new one off of Amazon. I think it was about £3 or something. A good friend of mine not too far away said to me the other day when I said, my fingers off, I've taken all the tops off my fingers rubbing masking fluid out. She said, try using a rubber. Do you know what?
I do that sometimes.
Oh,
That was our choice.
Yeah.
It was our choice said that.
All right.
I haven't tried the bobbly tea towel, have you?
No.
Oh.
I'm a bit worried about if Melanie spotted me doing something like that with a tea towel.
Yeah, you could be in trouble.
I don't know how long we've been married, but it's quite a long time. Even she wouldn't expect me to do that. Well, I've got old T-shirts that I'll use for certain things. Just being cautious because the paper was really wet. Poor old Chris, she can't find someone to go to a wedding. It's mad.
No, I can't believe it. Everybody's working. How boring.
Well.
I'm going to say, where's lockdown when you need it? But that wouldn't help either because it wouldn't be able to come out.
No, there wouldn't be a wedding. That's why it was postponed.
Yeah.
Oh. Is it going to be somewhere nice?
Farley Manor.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful grounds. There's a big marquee.
Let's get this, see if I can shake this off.
Yeah, I've been to a wedding there a few years ago. It was lovely.
Good. I've never been there for a wedding.
Where is it, Chris?
It's not far
Right.
from the airport. Bournemouth Airport.
Oh, Herne.
Yeah.
Bournemouth? Bournemouth hasn't got a airport. You mean Herne? Christchurch Airport. Right. This is going to be interesting one, isn't it? But we have to keep our palette local, don't we? I'm not worried about the figures and all the rest of it. The thing I wanted to do, which tends to take more time, was to use the pastels on the trees, or at least just try. Yeah, that we were doing the other week. I just figure if I could I was looking at my castle picture that I used pastel on, and I was looking at it thinking, do you know what? The brightness and color looked nicer on the pastel where I'd done the pastels. So I thought, go on. Fortune favours the brave. Well, I've got this box that I put them all in. I'm going to try and pick out some of the colour and see if I can get away with it. And I'm using powder puffs. Remember I was talking about that with last week, wasn't it? Mel thought I was being funny. Have you got any powder puffs? And she said, well, I've got these. She came up with some and I thought, no, that can't be. They got to be like me nan used to use for a compact.
Rubbery ones.
Yeah, well, they're I don't know what the word is. Are they cotton? But they're sealed. You can get the other ones that aren't. I don't
They're
think
like makeup removal pads.
Yeah, yeah. I was on Amazon looking through and trying to find it. So I'm just going to do it and see what happens. See if I can get a nice subtle. I don't mind. And the thing is, you've got a job to wash it off because it's really good stuff. It's stained right into the paint. But I've got about 3 different colours. I've got a bright yellow, a sort of a yellowy lemon. No, was it an orangey yellow that I can pop in? And then we just use the brush. And I don't care who says don't do it. I'm going to do it. I've done it. So it's too late now. And what I haven't got is a really dark colour. So I'm just going to use the blue. I've got a dark blue. Just trying to look at the actual image and say where they are. Of course, the skill bit, or I don't know if skill's the right word. The precarious bit, it's going to be adding the water and moving it all around. Should be fun. I think more yellow, don't you? It's predominantly that bright yellow, which has now gone green. But we can always add some watercolour in. I just wanted to see what effects I could get. Gulps. Deep sigh coming now. Now, I don't know what size brush to use. I've got the one we were using for the portraits. Seems to be a good brush. Which is this number. Hang on, I always get it wrong, don't I? A number 8, but it's a number 5 according to the what's it. Now, in theory, we should be able to just take some clean water and just let it do its magic, or not. If it doesn't look perfect, I'll fix it with some. We'll just put some pastel brushes. I was hoping to get more yellow than that, so I call it a fail at the moment. If I can get some, what you can do when in doubt is actually put your brush in the pastels and use it as paint. I just wanted the ferocity, what's the word? The opacity of the colour to stand out. So, boom. Probably need a rigger to just sort of have a play with it, really. It's that bright yellow, isn't it, that I should be introducing. Think jungle, palm trees, whatever. It's kind of working. I just need to add some different brighter yellows. Is that bit there that's wrong? Never mind. Love it when a plan doesn't come together, don't we? Yeah. Well, I'll leave it for now, but I don't think I'll stick with it. Try and fix a few fronds using the fan brush for a minute. I'm a bit loath to go too far into the sky in case I decide to wash it all away. Which I will.
Oh, gosh.
Well, you can spend more time doing it really gentle. And I'll probably spend a bit more time introducing some darks to it. Let me get my... Did somebody say they bought some block of St. Oh, it was Anne. Anne has bought a block of a wodge of St. Petersburg paints. Hey, out of the dark age, into the light she comes. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up some green and find some, no, not purple, whatever that colour is. I never use that colour. There it is, burnt umbery colour. And a bit of blue to give me a real dark jungle colour. And I'm going to start introducing it into here. Probably better with a smaller brush, rigger, which we've got here. And just try and find some dark bits. That's what's making the picture, or the trees. Try and do it quicker. A bit more blue. Need to mix up more paint. Anyway, that was blue, burnt umber, and a bit of green to give us a real... It's not sap green, is it? It's more olive. It's almost black. You can just build it back up with that. But we can, yeah, that'll work. Using the fine bits of the brush, just try and get some depth in. Did I tell you I dreamt I was being chased by a grizzly bear last night? Where did that come from? I mean, you're lying there in bed, all minding your own business, and you're getting chased by a flipping grizzly bear. I wouldn't. Oh, I was getting half asleep, aren't you? You don't think straight. I was thinking I'm not going out in the bathroom now. What a twerp. I'm just adding some watercolour now. Just try and get something moving. Bit of lemon yellow. Just blend it in. Trying to make something of a... I nearly said a pig's ear into a silk purse. I think I'm getting there. but I can, yeah, it even needs to be darker in the depths of the in here. Probably might be one of those occasions where you can get away with using a bit of black, which just so happens I've got. But I'm going to just drop it in. A bit too much, but yeah, good on. Oh, I like that. I think I've rescued it. If Anne was here, she'd say, I don't know how he gets away with that. Goes pear-shaped, but late when it's dried back, I'll use a rigger and put some really fine lines in to do it. Oh, you jammy bugger.
Dave, I'm afraid my plan hasn't come together. Sainsbury's arrived about 5 minutes ago.
Don't worry.
So
I'll persevere on.
I'm going. Sorry. I'll have to catch up on video.
Yeah.
I'll see you all next time.
Awesome.
Yeah, okay then. Bye, Joy.
Thanks. Bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah, next beauty of it is this we're always getting this thing, and you hear me saying it a lot about local color, and the colors that we were mixing earlier, the blue and the cerulean blue and the flesh, giving us that sort of gray sort of neutral tone, is brilliant for using in here. This brush, by the way, is just it's just like a little, very fine. It's a sable brush. It's just one that I don't got a clue where it's turned up from. I don't recall buying it, that's for sure. But using it on its edge like that, any brush would do it. But you can get that sort of, try and find that, missed a bit, paint a bit, because they're reeds, aren't they? I presume they're made out of some sort of thing. So I'm just going to dab a few in. It does have a fine line. It does have a line going along the top there. And one thing I noticed earlier, rightly or wrongly, was the inside of it seems to have a yellow, or very light. So using my flesh tone, I'm just going to put an under, it's the inside of the thing. I'm just going to use it. I've got my reading glasses on, so I'm actually going to extend that. It's over there, this sort of fleshy colour that we mixed up. This is the same colour that we had from last week doing the portraits. So I'm just going to use it in there, and while it's damp, drop in some of that grey, bluey colour that we've got, which is local colour because we've used it in other parts of the painting. It's not got a fine point on it, this brush, so I've got to be a bit careful. Love it, love it. But perhaps tomorrow, when it's all dried back, I've still got a bit of that greeny, dark green colour that I had for there, so I'm going to drop that in as well towards the bottom where the shadow of it, the shade of it is. A lot depends on your eyesight, doesn't it? What you see. We all see it slightly different. Usually just paint a few darks in, dab a few across the top. And say it's quite damp, so that's what we use. What's why they're called watercolors, I suppose, because it does. I think I went over a bit. Yeah, it did. Where's that bit of tissue, Dave? Just there, mate. Oh, well done. Thanks. I've still got the bits on my almost working. So the colours I've played with are more or less what we started with, except I mixed up that really dark, almost black greeny colour for the inside of there that I've used as the parts of the darks on this, whatever it is. But I say, if you've got a little bit of black, you can add it to green. It will give you that really crazy inside shadow that you get, or in the darks of foliage. I've got a little rigger brush here. I'm just going to add a little bit of that into the brush, and perhaps put a few straight lines in, but it is a bit damp at the moment. Same on the inside. Sort of spoiling my inside brightness, so I might need to go over that later. Nearly there. Did I rub it off yet? No, I didn't. All right. There was a bit of, I recall putting a little bit of masking fluid on the base of that earlier. I'm just going to put a little bit of cerulean blue on there. I think I am. If I can get there. Starting to form. The figures, well, again, we've got all the colours. Pardon me, that we've been using from last week anyway. Da-da. We've got a bit of flesh. So I'm just going to put really handy having these colours, but they're the ones that we've had in the palette for the last few weeks anyway. But I think if we can it's got an arm coming down there. I did sketch it and put masking fluid on it, but true to form, it's sort of eaten. These arms coming down there, isn't it? Yeah. Paint what you see, and he's got legs. It's just one little brush full of flesh colour. You can always have a look at the detail later. The Meg's dress, I think I'll let you girls think about that. Work on that one. Well, it's again, I've got that grey that I mixed up, and it's just a matter of teasing it in, really, to give it the impression that it's transparent, isn't it? Paint what you see. I forgot to put her head up. Needs a bit of face. Better put a face in. I'm still using the side of my board to wax some of the pictures. I'm rushing because everyone's going away early.
Well, we can catch up, can't we? On
yeah. Well, what I'll probably do is add a bit more later. Chris is going to get married.
Yeah. Oh.
No, twice was enough, thank you.
Yes, I was going to say. I nearly said once bitten, twice shy.
Oh,
Yeah. Dark bit for the hair. What do we want? Some bit of burnt umber and a bit of blue that I've got in the palette. Didn't realise her hair was as dark as that. Or as long. But I will have a go at putting some on. Probably it might have to put a bit of white on or something later. Almost gone too dark there. Try and bit of clean water and let it drizzle. Well, I know what Meg's like. She's very pedantic about the way she looks. She works hard at because they do these travel logs as well on their YouTube channel. They've started doing videos of of the places that they go, like Monaco. They did a brilliant one there. Not too bad. Stick with the blue. I'll put some cerulean and a bit of cobalt. Better make him look decent. Wait, where did that blood jeans from? It's his birthday this month.
Oh, you can give it to them for a birthday present.
Yeah.
No?
No, because he won't buy it. I want the money.
Oh, but
Yeah, I'm almost there now.
yeah.
Or I'm almost where I want to be on soaking wet bloody paper. One thing I could do is...
Are they coming towards us or going away? One looks as if it's coming towards and one going away. I can't see that well.
Yeah, it's because I haven't put any features in his face.
Ah, so they're coming towards you.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, I just need to lift off.
It looks like he's going that way.
Yeah, so strangers in the night. Oh, come on, it's only the initial colours I'm putting on.
They're a job to see, aren't they?
Well, it's because it's really wet as well.
No, it looks good.
I haven't put any
I like the trees, they look good.
Well, it's one of those paintings that you need to, once I put it's got too much
Because
hair.
you always do your paintings bigger than what we do, so the figures are easier, aren't they? Ours are all like mine are all little squidgy ones.
They're not that. They're not that big.
What, your paper?
No, my people. They're only little.
Are they?
They're only what? David's taller, so he's what? That's 2
No, what
inches.
I'm saying is because I use smaller paper.
Yeah, and you do it on bigger paper. What size is
your figures? Yeah, your figures are easier to do because they're bigger. You see what I mean?
In proportion to the size paper.
Well, it's because it's soaking wet. Doesn't help either. So yeah, you're right. At some point, I'll put his glasses on, and he'll look a bit more. He looks like an alien at the moment.
Oh dear.
Dad, what have you done to me? He'll be all right. I'll work it out. Just got to be a bit.
Sorry, guys, but I've got to go too.
Yeah, I've got to go now as well. So it's only you, only you left, Pauline.
It's 12:05, and I'm being picked up at 1 o'clock, so I better go and get ready.
Right. Okay.
Well, don't worry. So I'll tidy up and carry on the video anyway. So
yeah, we can
and add a bit onto it. So
yeah, it looks nice. Oh,
You
it
can't
makes me feel I want to go on holiday.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I'm off. Bye for now.
Okay, have a
Yeah,
nice
enjoy your
wedding.
wedding.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to go
Bye.
as well. So see you
Bye,
next
Carol.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah, bye. Bye, Dave.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Dave.
Bye.
Cheers.
Yeah, bye.
I was concentrating then.
Hmm.
Well, there ain't no mountain high enough. It's one of those pictures where at this point it's a question of just using the rigger, letting things dry. That's all too wet around there now, so just having a bit of fun. But that colour I mixed up earlier, which was the sort of cerulean blue and flesh tone, is the one I'm using on all of it really.
Yeah, good.
Well, for just subtle using the rigger, you can soon use it to add some shadowy dark areas in the water. Got to be careful there because it's very very subtle. Problem is with all, well, it's not a problem, it's a fact. Doesn't matter how you think you want to change and paint it a certain way, you always end up painting your way. It always ends up looking similar to how you always do it.
Yeah.
They're not mistakes. It's just part of the way your hand, unless you actually consciously say, right, I'm going to paint with the other hand from now on.
Yeah.
Which not many people do. Then it will change dramatically. But once you start putting in a few reflections and that, it soon tighten up. Which is, if you like, is the part of the Tuesday morning process that there's never enough time to do. It's that sort of, like I'm doing now, it's that sort of tightening up the picture, adding little bits here and there to make it, usually in my case, as you know, over the years, it involves using the rigger and just flicking a few flicks here and there. I remember Edna, when she used to come to the art class, she's the church secretary. She'd sit there like we all on a Tuesday, and then at the end, she'd work diligently, quite hard all the way through, and then she'd just say, just before everyone was packing up and leaving, like say, "Yeah, over to you." She'd give me the picture, and she said,
Got to finish it off.
"Yeah, put you with the rigger like I'm doing now."
Right.
Just adding a few. And the same there, you just need to add a few details. I'll have to tighten Meg up, otherwise she'll murder me. But that dress is supposed to look like that. And that's better than I thought I'd do it actually. But I think when it's dry, I'll redo her hair a bit, tidy it up, and the face. But I can almost see something's going to happen, and a bit more flesh on David. The one thing I will do in a minute is grab a bit of yellow and put it on the inside of that canopy for a minute. I don't care if it is my eyesight. I just decided, should be raw sienna really, but hey ho, I haven't got any in that palette, so I'll just use a bit of whatever yellow that was. cadmium. I think it's, I don't know, might well be lemon yellow. But anyway, I'll whack that on there for now. And what we could try is to use the toothbrush paper just to block it off and put a few little spatteries on the beach. Just tighten it up. Where's that colour? The colour I used earlier, which that really dark that I used in the tree. I think that might do it actually. Take off the excess on the bit of paper and just flick it and see what happens. So I don't want a lot, just want it to, just a couple of bit. I think that's, I don't know what that, I think it's masking fluid that's on the brush. There's some hard bits coming off the off the toothbrush. There's nothing, it's not paint.
Not toothpaste, is it?
No.
Oh.
I just think it needs a couple of bits just to give it a depth.
Yeah. And
then blow those funny bits away. I don't know what they are.
Well, that worked.
It should have a mount here. I always we've got one. Yeah, there's a big one. It's quite a large picture, isn't it? Oh, that would be okay. That'd be okay. Just need to tighten up the tighten that one up. Bring it down a bit. There you go.
It's very subtle colours.
It had to be. The whole picture had to be that.
I think sometimes I'm a bit heavy-handed with the colours.
But the mixing up that really dark colour for the foliage is a useful one to do. It's just a dark green, emerald green, or any of those horrible greens that you wouldn't use on their own. If you add some blue and burnt umber, or possibly a hint of black to them, you'll get the
dark.
You'll get a really nice dark colour that you can, with your rigger, subtly add into the painting, knowing that it's not black, it's not brown, it's not blue, it's sort of a mixture of all those things with a little bit of, when it dries, it'll dry a sort of a greeny colour. And you can start thinking, hang on, that's got to be round, hasn't it? So it's got to be darker one side than the other. Yeah, just need to tighten up their face. What I might do is actually put it on the computer and blow it up so I can sort of get a really good view of their features.
Yeah.
And and at some point later on, you can quite easily, using the dark, add a few of those fronds or whatever they are into the trees. But you need to look at the picture a bit so you can get them quite accurate. And I notice on the thing that there's some sort of tree branches that go up here as well, if I remember rightly. But you can soon put them in just using that dark colour, and if they're hanging down like that, I'm really chuffed with that. That worked really well.
Wow, well, that's really good.
Not bad for an hour. Well, that's, I mean, you know, if you, in all honesty, if I was to spend, I wouldn't do it this way, do I? Normally I'll do. That's interesting.
got to fit a lot into an hour, haven't you?
Yeah, I think normally, as I say, I'll do a bit, add a bit of paint, like I'm doing there. I think, well, I've lost Meg's face, so I need to put it back. And the same with David. I'll put a blob in like that, and then walk away and come back, let it dry, let it sort itself off, sort itself out. Because if you're trying to do it really quick, all on the wet, you get that sort. You always get that sort of result. And some of the, especially the flesh tones, they need to. You need to put them in, let them dry off, and then come back. You can add a little bit more subtle colours to it. Carol makes me laugh. Which way are they walking? The irony of that is, I actually there was a painting I did a few years back, and it was much like this figures on the beach sort of thing. Right, one of the sales things that people used to be looking at, oh no, that's all right. I said, yeah, I love that painting. Can you tell me which way the people are walking? Are they walking towards us or are they walking away from us? Because I painted it and I ain't got a clue. I always used to laugh, but it was true. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to dither around with it too much. I'm going to have a little think about it.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, like you say, leave it and go away and then come back.
Yeah. I think you should. I think it's a good way of doing it. And plus the fact you're painting from a photo or whatever, which is fine. But at some point you look at it in a different, you look at it again and you see different bits. Like at the moment I'm looking at it and thinking, in actual fact, I said earlier, didn't I wanted raw sienna in there. Yeah. So putting raw sienna and it lifts up one side more than the other. So just by putting the raw sienna in, I've suddenly warmed the picture up for sure. And I've lifted that up, that side, on purpose, so that the inside looks a bit more interesting. And then I'll have to build that up with some more darks in a minute. And a little bit of, I think now it's dried back, I could actually add even more of that subtle grey colour to that as well. And gradually build it up. And the figures, as I say, I want to do more to them. They need a bit more work on, but when it dries, I'll be able to put more on.
Different things, yeah. Yeah, no, it's really good.
Does it look like on? Yeah, it doesn't look too bad on screen. It looks, but initially you look at it and you think, well, there ain't much in that. Bit of water, bit of a couple of figures and a thing. But in actual fact, I think maybe that's a lesson for today. Really, is to say there's much more, even in a simple picture, than it first meets the eye. Should have done that earlier.
No, that's really good.
Hang on, 2, 3, 4. Voila. You can see that there's more. There's so when you look at it from a certain distance, it looks okay, but when you get close, you can suddenly see, hang on, there's a lot more going on in there.
Yeah.
And the subtleties and that. Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Look forward to having a go at that.
I'll let you know when I sell it to David.
Yes. Let us know how much you get for it.
I won't be doing that for straight away. Yeah, I quite like that.
Yeah. No,
it's got depth. My mind is still out on the little bits in the background round about there. where the trees are, there's some more of these brolly things.
Right.
I think I might try and put a few of those in a blurred in the background. Yeah.
I was going to leave those out.
We're looking at it. I think I'll. I'm gonna. I'll have a think about that as well.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't seem to be able to sort of do those little buildings in the background very well. They always look like a blob. I'm going to miss those out, I think. But we'll see how we get on with the rest. You still there?
yeah, I'm just saying. Remove. God, it just makes you think that I've got my reading glasses on.
And you're looking at it differently to.
I can't even my mouse even using the mouse has changed. I must have been concentrating because I haven't touched my tea. It's been quite a good morning, really. I've done a nice picture.
Yeah.
Or I've got the start of, just to finish it off.
Yeah.
Nice picture, and I didn't spend 900 quid.
No, bargain. Good morning.
Yeah. Well,
I'll
go and have something to eat. I'm starving.
Yeah,
my tummy's rumbling.
Yeah. So,
and I'll what I'll do is I'll do a bit more on that.
Show us the finished product.
And tomorrow I'll do a few more bits on it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a good lesson is when you think it's finished, stop, and then have a day or two break if you can. Come back and look at it.
See something different.
Yeah, you'll suddenly spot the mistakes.
Yeah.
Or the bit like I did with that castle thing, where the trees should have been in the back of the castle and they weren't.
Yeah.
Naughty.
Yeah. I thought one of my eggs looked the wrong shape in the egg cup. I think I've got that bit askew with, but like you say, when you come back after a day or a few hours, you see different things, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Especially being
all right.
Awesome. Right, me darling, I'm off.
I'll
Get
see you
some.
next week. Yeah. Enjoy your lunch.
See what Mr. Sainsbury's bought me.
Yeah, something exciting.
Mel usually surprised me.
All right. Has she been making any cakes lately?
Flapjacks. I'm on flapjacks at the moment.
Oh, right.
They're my favourite anyway.
Right, yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
We miss our coffee and a cake.
That's the only thing about doing virtual meetings.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think it's got more pros than cons, but
that's right.
I'd like to have the con as well.
Yeah.
I have to do a mail order service like on a Monday. Get a little box.
Yeah.
Turns up to it. Everybody gets a bit of cake. Trouble is, we never get time. It's so busy.
No. Yeah.
It's amazing how quick it comes round as well, Pauline.
I know. Crazy,
because it gets to sort of Friday afternoon, and I think, crikey, Saturday I've got to start thinking. I've got to get, it's only like Tuesday morning, but there's still loads goes on in the background.
Yeah.
You can have the secret. My next portrait, we've got Omar Sharif next week.
Oh, right, yeah.
My heart for and my next one I'm going to do, I had a brainwave yesterday. It wasn't about grizzly bears. It was Diana Dors.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I want to do Diana Dors.
That'd be interesting.
I loved her. She was beautiful.
Yeah. Also, we haven't done any animals either, have we?
No, I ain't doing a grizzly bear though. I'm not into grizzly bears.
That could be something in the future. Not that I think be any good, but be something different.
Let's think up a Christmas animal. That'd be a good one to do for Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
a deer or a deer in snow and something like that.
Yeah. No,
I'll
that'd
have
be-
to think about it. Rather
Yeah.
than the robin, do something
yeah.
something else.
Slightly different. Yeah.
Christmas. Right, that's
Yeah.
your homework.
Oh, right. Okay.
We want a Christmas animal.
I got till Christmas to think of it.
Ooh, yeah,
Well, nearly Christmas.
yeah, that's true. Bless you.
All
Right.
right. See you next week.
Cheers, Pauline.
Yeah. Bye. Thanks very
Bye.
much.
Bless
Bye.
you.